Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get.
Clay Tiberius Clark, how are you, my friend?
I am doing great, and I appreciate you mentioning my middle name like that.
Yeah, that's true. That is your middle name, right? How did you? What's the origins of that middle name?
I think I have a lot of a Captain Kirk philosophies that I, kind of just, figured out as I go.
Yeah.
That kind of life hack kind of guy. So a few clients started calling me Tiberius, and it just sort of has morphed into this problem.
Is it true that you did something extra this last week to become more pale for this meeting specifically?
Well, what you do is you want to avoid direct sunlight
Okay.
and have a bias for indoor activities, and that's how I maintain this complexion.
America, America.
That's good. Well, you over-deliver in that area and a lot of other areas. And today we're talking about the mindset, in the category of mindset, but specifically on over-delivering.
Yeah.
All right, so the topic is over-delivering, the selfish act of standing out by doing more. So you're talking about standing out. Are you suggesting that we stand out just by changing our appearance, like a face tattoo, or do you have a different strategy for the Thrivers to stand out?
I think if you are working at a job, I know I worked at Target. I desperately wanted to get promoted, to get advanced. You don't want to feel stuck.
Right.
If you're working at Target, or in my case, I worked at Applebee's, and no matter what restaurant you're at, whether it's a business, whether it's an entry-level job or you're way up there in the company, you want to stand out and to be called upon. You want to get paid more. You want more responsibility. And what we're talking about today is how to get unstuck and how to get noticed so that you can break out of the clutter and have some big success.
So in order to do that, though, we have to figure out, who am I competing with? Who am I trying to stand out from? Okay, so this is a statistic here from Gallup, a Gallup poll that said 13% of employees are engaged at work, and over 25% are actively disengaged. It seems like, first of all, to be actively disengaged, that's a high number of working hard to be disengaged. But most people aren't engaged at work at all.
I don't think people realize how bad of a disengaged employee I was. And I think if you're being honest, if you're watching this, you've probably at one point or another been a disengaged employee as well. But at Target, I started coming up with moves like, how early before my shift can I check in? And how late after my shift can I check out and still get paid for it?
Right.
And what are some ways I can seem busy without actually doing any work at all?
Right, and that's what you're going to be competing with. When most of the time, when you're trying to stand out, this is what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So another statistic here, though. This is incredible to me. From Business Insider. This is a Business Insider article. According to this article, 80% of people hate their jobs or are dissatisfied with their jobs currently. 80% of people hate the job they go to every single day.
Well, before I learned the things we're going to teach today, I know that I was actively disengaged at my job. I know at Applebee's, I used to play a game where I used to walk in, you have sections where I'm supposed to, if you're a server, you're supposed to wait on these 5 tables and she's working on these 5 tables. And I used to always find a way to take all of the tables, so I got all of the tips, and so I'd have little moves I would do to create dysfunction within the company, but so that I could take the whole section and therefore make all the tips. And I had a whole system I would do, and it wasn't right, it wasn't good, I'm not trying to justify it, it was just what I did because I wasn't focused on any career goals. All I could think about was just how do I make as much money as possible short term, and who do I have to screw over in the short term process to go have that short term victory.
Right, and so we're wanting to help you move. We don't want you disengaged at work. We want you having a goal. You're trying to move up and you're trying to stand out. So we don't want you to be in a job you hate. So the way to do this, to move out of the clutter, is to start over-delivering. Is that right? Now, here's what's crazy though. USA Today said that people that work at these jobs that are disengaged, that hate their jobs, can't even retire after they're done working for years and years and years. USA Today says 36% of workers have less than $1,000 in savings or investments that could be used for retirement. Less than $1,000. So you might spend your entire life working at a job you absolutely hate, that you're disengaged at every single day, and you end up having less than $1,000 to retire?
Well, if you are engaged in my work philosophy that I used to have called jackassery, and you're actively involved in jackassery on a daily basis, you'll never get ahead, and you don't actually have any benefit to being a jackass. All you do is just you get stuck. And so I'm not saying that you're a jackass, I'm saying I used to be a jackass. What we're trying to do is teach how to be engaged in the job and how to break out of that clutter so you can get promoted, make more money, have big success.
This isn't theory. Obviously, we're not talking about theory here. We're going to give you 3 action steps, okay? The points we're covering today, the first one is over delivery. That's principle number 1. The second one is beat your boss to work. Principle number 2 is beat your boss to work. And principle number 3 is ask the question no one asks. We don't know what that question is, but we will find out.
Principle number 2, a little clarification. It's beat your boss to work, not beat your boss at work.
Okay, good.
That is something I wanted to make sure we clarify.
Video guys, don't,
not beat your boss at work, just making sure of that.
To work. Okay, good. When did you start? When was this over-delivery method actually implemented in your life?
I would say when I was working at Target.
Okay.
I was in that phase where I was starting to read some self-help books, and that was the first time where I was saying, you know what, today, when somebody asks me where they can find this particular product or this particular CD, back in the day when people used to buy CDs, they would say, you know, where's this CD or where's this video camera or where's this, instead of just going, over there, I'm going to decide to wow that customer because I know that it's going to lead to more opportunities for me, it's going to lead to a better reputation for me, and it's going to ultimately benefit me. So I started turning on the jets, and one of our customers that came into Target to buy a video camera ended up being my connection, Mr. Todd Starkey, that led to my first real job, first internship, and the rest is history.
I love it. Okay, let's dive into the first one here. Principle number 1, over delivery. Okay, so I got a notable quotable here from Napoleon Hill. You might have heard of him.
Yeah.
Named your son after him.
Yeah, he's sort of
had a pretty big influence on your life.
Huge, absolutely huge influence.
Okay, here's what he has to say on this topic. He says, the man who does more than he's paid for will soon be paid for more than he does. First of all, tell us a little bit about Napoleon Hill. If we don't know who Napoleon Hill is,
Napoleon Hill is the best-selling success author of all time, self-help author. His books have sold over 70 million copies. They've sold a ton of copies, and he devoted his life to studying the most successful people of his day and asking them specifically, how do I get ahead? So he studied Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, Rockefeller, Henry Ford, William Wrigley. Awesome. So he's a fire hose of knowledge just waiting to be unleashed on your mind.
And so he's the one that says, the man who does more than he's paid for will soon be paid for more than he does. Break that quote down for us. What does that mean?
Well, what happened is when I started getting this concept, I'm working at Target, and I realized I'm supposed to be at work. My shift starts at 8. But if I get there at like 7:30 and I don't clock in and I just get all set up for the day, and if I'm supposed to leave at 5 but I stay till 5:30 and I clock out on time, but I just am getting there early and staying late, if I'm just doing that, and when a customer says, excuse me, do you know where the bathroom is? If I will just walk them to the bathroom or walk them to the product or just do my absolute best to exceed the expectations of my boss, nothing but good things can happen. And the boss starts to come to me, and the boss actually starts to come to me and say, hey, do you want to get more involved? Do you want to run the cash register? Which, to me, it wasn't, I mean, maybe if you're watching this, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal to you, but when you're stocking shelves and someone says you get to run the cash register, I'm like, boom, this is Christmas. This is awesome. I'm getting an extra 50 cents an hour? What? So, it's unbelievable how people start to conspire to help you when you over-deliver.
Okay, this is intense. I want a truth cannon here. How many people do you see that actually do this over-delivery method? Truth cannon, right now. How many people?
I would say in my own personal businesses, for every 10 people that apply for a job that we want to hire, if you hire 10 candidates, let's say, maybe one of those 10 will ever say, what else can I do? Or how else can I help you? Without prompting and teaching and mentorship. It's not a natural thing. But I'm not criticizing you. I'm criticizing me and just the human condition. We just are naturally conditioned to only do what we're paid to do. But that 1 out of 10 who comes to you and says, what else can I do to get ahead? What else can I do to help the company? What else can I do to help the customer? What else can I do? You remember them. And when it's time to promote somebody or to appoint somebody to be a manager, you think of that person. And you have a bias for people that go over and above.
Okay, so you're talking to the Thrivers now. On the other side of this camera, what are you saying to the Thrivers right now as their action step?
I would just say, think about the job you have right now and think about how can you do 15% more than you're supposed to do.
That's the action step. Ask yourself, how can you do 15% more than what you're currently asked to do?
Absolutely.
Okay, I love it. Okay, number 2 here. Let's move on to principle number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Beat your boss to work. Okay, beat your boss to work. Not at work, like you've already clarified,
Yeah.
to work. We got a notable quotable here from Russell Simmons.
I love Russell Simmons.
Talk to me about Russell Simmons before we dive into this.
Russell Simmons was the first entrepreneur that I wanted to be like.
Really?
He's the guy who developed Def Jam, Def Comedy Jam. It's the record label that Jay-Z got signed to. He was the guy who a lot of people consider to be the father of hip-hop music. His brother was in Run DMC, but he developed Fat Farm. It's a clothing company, and he just has done big things.
He overcame some adversity.
He had a speech impediment, which I had. I used to stutter. He had a lisp, and he was kind of like my first hero, my first business hero.
I love it. All right, he's got a quote here. It's kind of long. Hang with me, though. This is powerful right here. This is powerful. He says, this is from his book, Do You, the 12 Laws to Access the Power in You to Achieve Happiness and Success. He says, if you're willing to work hard but don't know where to start, just look around you. Go out on the block and find a store with a dirty sidewalk and start sweeping it. Don't worry about whether the owner is going to pay you or not. Just start sweeping. Don't worry if your friends come down to the block and start calling you a sucker. Just keep sweeping. Don't worry if a girl you like walks and sees you with a broom in your hand. Just keep sweeping and working your hardest at making sure the sidewalk always looks good. Because if you come out every morning and sweep the front of that store every day with a smile, it won't be long before the owner notices you and finds you a job inside the store. Break this down. Why is this so powerful here?
It's so powerful because there's opportunities right now in the job that you have and the job that I have that are right in front of us, but we have to create those opportunities. And I'm just telling you, it's this law of reciprocity. And what it is that if I sow seeds into your life, if I invite your kid to a birthday party, I have 5 kids. So if I invite your kid to a birthday party and you're like, who's that Clark guy? Who? If your kid gets invited to the party and they like the party, next time that you have a party, you're going to want to invite my kids, even if you don't know their names, because you feel like you should reciprocate.
Right.
Now, if you don't have a soul, this doesn't work on you.
True.
But if you have a soul, it works. And so what happens is you're igniting this law of reciprocity. You're the one who's starting it. You're serving as the catalyst. And once you start over-delivering, people want to reciprocate. So I'm just telling you, if you beat your boss to work, if you show up early, we used to have a guy years ago named Jason who used to show up to work before I got there, and he'd always bring a coffee.
Yeah.
And so every day I'm like, there's Jason, there's a coffee. Well, I don't know how many days in a row it takes before I start to discover there's a pattern.
Right.
Every day there's Jason and a coffee.
It's amazing.
Then I'm looking for someone to promote into this marketing position, and I'm going, I think we should have Jason.
Right.
Why? Was it the coffee? Was it because he's there early? Probably all of that. And he over-delivered at his job.
Right.
But you have to break out of the clutter. You cannot fall into the pack. Because if you're stuck in that pack, I'm just telling you, there's nothing good there. You do not want to be there.
Is the same rule of 10 apply where if you've got 10 people, maybe one person's beating you to work, or is that less? Or how often do you see this? This is another truth cannon moment.
Now, Thrive is a little bit of a bizarre culture.
It's true.
Because we have jerks like you who are highly motivated all over the place. And so we've got guys who are showing up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. We have a great culture of that. But as a general rule, I would say that for every 10 people you hire, maybe a half a person.
Half a person?
Yeah, I mean, if I hire 100 people, maybe 2 people would ever get to work at the same time as me or ahead of me. You know, now Thrive's a different thing because we, on the Thrive team, you guys see Millionaire Mentors every day.
Right.
And you notice they all get to work early.
Yep.
They're all about over-delivering, so you guys have kind of picked up on that bias.
It's true.
But,
So it's a little bit more common there.
Okay. A little skewed in our place.
So the action step here is pretty simple. It's the principle. It's just beat your boss to work if you're trying to stand out. That's what we're trying to say, right?
Action item I'm going to give you. I recommend you try to do this for 60 days.
60 days.
60 days? You mean, what? I'm just telling you, if you do that, guess what? When the boss pulls up his car or her car, they're going to go, wait a minute, whose car is that?
Yeah.
And they're going to start seeing you. Next thing you're going to build a little camaraderie. And I don't care how big the company is. Lee Cockrell, who used to manage Walt Disney World Resorts, he said he managed 40,000 employees he managed. He said when he got to work early, guess what? No one's there.
Right.
So if you want to meet the owner, get there early. I'm telling you, it's an unbelievable way to connect with them and to wow them.
And they probably won't recognize your car right at first unless you've got a car similar to Clay's.
Yeah, if you
which is now auto-wrapped. It's a massive Hummer.
If you have a Kim Jong-un themed auto wrap on your car, people will remember that. That's not really a success tip. That's just
a real life fact.
Yeah, we'll put it on the screen.
It's a real life fact. Okay, so here, number 3, okay? Ask the question that no one asks. Ask the question that nobody asks. First of all, talk to me about this question that nobody asks. You alluded to it, but what is the question that nobody asks that we should be asking?
Nobody ever comes to the boss and says, how can I do better? I say nobody. Out of 100, one. Maybe one person out of 100 will say, how can I do my job better? We've got a guy in our office right now named Matt. Matt, if you're watching, I'm just trying to, I'm not trying to stroke your ego. This is a true story.
Yeah.
Matt
Hopefully
comes to me all the time and says, what can I do better?
Right.
What can I do better? How can I improve? What can I do better? How can I improve? Well, at a certain point, you start to go, it appears like there's a pattern.
Right.
Like Matt wants to get better.
Right.
And Matt's not wanting to justify. Matt's wanting to ask, how can I get better? He's asking, what can I do to get better? He's not trying to justify why he's currently doing what he's doing.
Right.
And it's unbelievable when you start asking that question, you start getting great feedback. Most people hate confrontation, so most managers won't give you a ton of feedback unless you ask for it. You start getting better at your job. You start building real relationships.
standing
It's
out.
just awesome.
This is what Napoleon Hill has to say about this. This is a little notable quotable here. He says, you can start right where you stand and apply the habit of going the extra mile by rendering more service and better service than you are now being paid for. So how does this apply, though? Going the extra mile, how does this apply?
You got two options. If you don't think you're being paid enough, you can get out in front of your office right now. You can get a picket sign. Get a picket sign that says, I'm not going to work unless you give me a wage increase.
Right.
And then, just follow that path.
Right.
And just keep doing that. That's a great
Let
way
us
to get.
know how that works.
That's a great way to get a wage increase. And then you get fired or laid off because the company can't make payroll. Or you can over deliver and break out of the clutter. So if you're going, yeah, but I work around, the people in my office are crazy.
Right.
There's people who are sharing this group account right now who are crazy. You have to be thankful for those people, because if they weren't so awful at their job, you couldn't break out of the clutter.
Yeah.
So you've got to decide right now that you are going to be the person who breaks out of that clutter of commerce, and that you get the attention of the boss for all the right reasons. And that reason is for over delivery.
And when you ask how I can do better, your over delivery will probably be more effective. He's going to say, hey, I'd love it if you did this a little bit better, and now you can over deliver in that specific area, stand out even more.
There's a nugget of knowledge you don't get in college. It'll break your brain if you're not careful here.
Yeah,
This is
break
for
it.
you. Okay. You want to seek criticism, not praise.
You want
You
to
can just remember that.
criticism, not praise.
Seek criticism, not praise. That's tough. But if you do that, whether you're an owner or a manager, entrepreneur, intrapreneur, no matter who you are, if you'll do that, your product, your service, your resume, everything just gets better.
Right. So this is how you stand out, break out of the clutter without doing something crazy like getting a face tattoo. This is how you do it. The 3 moves, okay? Over delivering,
Yep.
right? Beating your boss to work,
Yep.
and then it's asking the question that nobody asks.
And I just want to make sure that the Thrivers know that I don't endorse your slamming of people who choose to get an entire face tattoo. There's a lot of
Are you saying you support it?
There's a lot of successful CEOs and entrepreneurs and presidents who have face tattoos, like.
Oh.
Anyway, back to you.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's it. That's how you actually stand out of the clutter. And we've given you action steps. They're very practical action steps. Beat your boss to work, 60 days. You can do it. Ask the question nobody asks, and over deliver.
Boom.
Boom.
Thrive15.com and Wes Carter are providing general legal information to provide thrivers like you with a basic framework of the terms, concepts, and scenarios found within the legal system of the United States. If you are a human who is watching this video, you should seek the legal advice of a local attorney before making a legal decision. If you are watching these videos from any country outside of the United States or from any planet outside of the planet Earth, you need to seek the wise legal counsel of a local attorney who better understands the legal complexities found within your country, planet, state, or city. For instance, in some states including California, Florida, Nevada, Alaska, and Hawaii, a motorist can be cited for driving too slowly. Other states do not have this law, although Clay has actually been pulled over for driving too slow within the state of Oklahoma, which pretty much never happens. Wes Carter is a great American and a beautiful man, but Thrive15.com and his partners are in no way legally liable for any fashion statements that he makes, verbally or just by emitting fashionable awesomeness simply by entering into a room. Wes Carter is not related in any shape or form to Clarence Carter, recording artist, John Carter, entrepreneur and artist, or Joe Carter, MLB baseball great.
All right, Wes, we are talking today about the powers of attorney.
All right.
And I think-
have superpowers.
I look at you, it's hard for me not to laugh, because I just look at you and it's like an overwhelming amount of power, and it's so obvious that you already have the powers of an attorney, and it's just like, why are we even talking about this? You can just see it. You're like the Hulk of attorneys.
Thank you.
I'm being serious though. We had a Festivus party at my house.
Festivus was awesome.
Festivus for the rest of us. It's where we celebrate the eve of Christmas Eve, a night of pageantry, a night of feats of strength, a night to air the grievances. And we had an arm wrestling competition. And you went deep into the competition. Did you win?
I did win.
Unbelievable strength. He's the powers of attorney. Now, Wes, just to set the record straight, and for the good people watching who've been just asking me these questions over and over, I'm like, how many times do I have to answer this question? They ask, Wes Carter, are you in any way, shape, or form related to Chester Conlon Carter, born October 3rd, 1934, a former film and television actor best known for the role of Doc, featured in 66 episodes of Rick, Jason, and Vic Morrow ABC World War II television series Combat?
Not that I know of. But if I knew who that was, I could probably answer that better.
You see how the patronization, how he talks down to like famous actors from the World War II era? It's like unbelievable. The powers of attorney, you know. So, okay. So now that we've dealt with that big issue.
Got that off the table.
Yep. Today we're going to be talking about the powers of attorney and what it means to the thrivers all across the globe and even on different planets. And so Webster and his dictionary writing buddies define the power of attorney as a legal instrument authorizing one to act as the attorney or agent of the grantor. Wes, tell us what that means.
It means I sign a piece of paper that gives you the right to do something I could do myself or some other person.
Why would I do that?
Well, let's say you're going to be out of town, or you want to give someone the power to sell some of your real estate for you, or to get into your bank accounts. Or to, it's common with attorneys, I'll give you a power of attorney so the IRS will talk to you so I don't have to deal with them. It just gives me the right as an attorney, or you as the right as a person, to stand in that other person's shoes for a list of myriad of reasons.
I want to hit some pros and cons real quick on this, because I recently, full disclosure, Wes Carter happens to be an attorney that I use. But I was out of town and we needed to get some stuff done. Mm-hmm. And so I have my accountant who has the power of attorney to get some stuff done, to deal with the IRS directly.
Right.
Bam, it's getting knocked out. I'm with Birdman, one of our sensational videographers in the Washington, D.C. area. And we're out there. We're not getting political. We're just out there talking business. And we're out there, and we're in the taxi, and things are getting done because the power of attorney's in place.
Yes.
Now, bad deal, that's the pro. Con, this is the bad deal, like the wrath of Con here. This is scary. A friend of mine actually owns a ton of real estate, and he claims that the person who he gave the power of attorney to sold many of the properties and bought properties without his consent.
It's possible. Usually a lot of times you'll see a form document, just a blanket one a lot of people use, and it's got a list of powers, or if you leave it blank, you get all the powers.
Austin powers.
So it's but when we talk about it can buy and sell real estate, your cash, just a lot of different things that you can do with one of those. So it's something you need to read very closely.
So you really want to have an attorney review a power of attorney document. You do not want to sign a generic.
No.
Right.
You do not want to sign a generic form. You want to read it, you want to have your attorney look it over, make sure you understand what you're reading.
I don't want to get myself in trouble, so I'm going to give an extreme example that is true, but I will not tell you the details of it. A guy that I know allegedly bought over $100 million of real estate property and didn't know he bought it through the power of attorney. True story.
And whoever's dealing with your agent through a power of attorney, you signed it. That third party has a right to rely on that document. So you're liable for it because you gave them the power. And if I come to you and you say, here's this document that Clay Clark signed, I should be able to rely on that if it's your signature. So that's why it's very important to know what you're reading, know what you're signing, know who you're giving that power to. So because you're going to be held to it.
How important is it for every entrepreneur watching this to have an attorney that they can find and trust, and maybe even allow them to be, serve as, to give them the power of attorney to deal with like the IRS or to deal with certain documents? How important is it for somebody to do that? And what would be a practical time in which you would benefit from that?
I think it's very important to do it at the onset of when you're organizing your business, because you're not going to pay them every month necessarily. You're going to use them when you need them. They bill you based on the amount of time they actually spend for the most part. So it's not going to be anything out of your pocket to have one there when you need them. So get a good attorney, go to a firm find a reference from someone else in business, but it's imperative that you have someone there when you need them that you've already got lined up in the bullpen.
And if you're watching this, see if you can kind of follow the logic on this, because sometimes I struggle to follow my own logic here. But here we go. Basically, if you're in business for 5 years or more, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you're definitely going to get sued, 1 being you're not going to get sued, how likely are you to get sued?
9.
9. You're almost for sure going to get sued.
Right.
looking for an attorney once you're being sued is not a good thing.
No, because you have specific deadlines you have to meet. Once you get started with a lawsuit, you need to be spending that time planning with your attorney, not out there going through the phone book.
So here's my logic. If we are going to get sued, and we know we need to have an attorney before we get sued, maybe we need to change our attitude and pretend like we're going to get sued in a month from now, and go ahead and go out there right now when you're watching this. I'm not even kidding. Go, if you do not have an attorney, go find one right now. It is so important that you do it, because I'm telling you, I consult business clients all the time, and you find them where they're in a bad situation legally, and that's when they're looking for an attorney.
And a good attorney might be able to help you avoid a few of those lawsuits. A lot of times I see clients come in, they've been sued. I say, what happened? They show me their documents. I said, well, if you'd come to me 6 months ago, we could have avoided all this in the first place.
Well, I hope that makes a sense to you as a Thriver. I hope that brings a lot of clarity to that situation. But the powers of attorney is something that you want to give out really sparingly to a person you can trust. You don't ever want to give out the powers of attorney unless you trust that person. You want to have the document made so that it's customized, tailor-made for you. And the third is find an attorney before you need one. You got to do it. So, Wes, I appreciate you being here today.
My pleasure.
I appreciate your power, your knowledge of powers of attorney, and just your overall aura and your somewhat transparent, description of your feelings about Chester Conlon Carter.
I would love to meet Chester.
Well, you can't, because he's no longer around.
So sad.
I'll be suing you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, JT, so hypothetically, in your mind, what is the purpose of having a business?
To get you to your goals. So it's a vehicle to get you to your destination.
Whoa. And would you need profits to get there? I mean, is when you have a business that's successful, in your mind, in your expert opinion, would you need profits to get you to your goals?
Yeah, because if you have a $15 million business, but you have $15 million of expenses, it's kind of pointless.
Holy crap!
All right, so the question I would have here for you, if you could take 10 minutes or less and see if you could save $3,000 a year by reducing your credit card fees, would you do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Holy crap!
Why would somebody out there who's listening right now who has a sane mind, why would they not go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card, thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card to schedule a 10-minute consultation to see if they can reduce their credit card fees by at least $3,000 a year.
Why would they not do it?
Yeah, why would they not do it?
Maybe because they didn't understand how you said the website.
This tree is a symbol of the spirit of the Griswold family Christmas.
No, that's clear. Okay, so that could be true. So I encourage everybody to check out thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card, thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card. What would be another reason why someone would not be willing to take 10 minutes to compare rates to see if they could save $3,000 or more on credit card fees?
Maybe they think it is a waste of time and that it won't. It's not possible.
There's somebody out there that's making more than $3,000 every 10 minutes, and they're like, nah, that's not worth my time.
We getting there, right money. We getting there, right money.
There's probably someone out there that would think that.
Well, I'll just tell you, folks, if you're out there today and you're making less than $3,000 per 10 minutes, I would highly recommend that you go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card because you can compare rates, you can save money. And, the big goal, in my opinion, of building a business is to create time freedom and financial freedom. And in order to do that, you have to maximize your profits.
Holy crap.
Now, one way to maximize your profits is to increase your revenue. Another way to do it is to decrease your expenses.
It's a profit deal. It takes the pressure off.
JT, is there any other reason why somebody would not be willing to take 10 minutes to compare rates to see if they could save a total of $3,000 a year on average?
I am at a loss and I cannot think of any other.
Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth. Oh, really, fool? Really? Stop looking at me, Swan.
Well, let me tell you a good story here real quick here. I actually, years ago, compared rates with this company here called IPS. It's Integrated Payment Services. And I scheduled a consultation. I don't know that I was skeptical. I just thought, whatever, I'll take 10 minutes. I'll compare rates.
I can't tell.
You can tell me I'm a doctor.
No, I mean, I'm just not sure.
Or can't you take a guess?
Well, not for another 2 hours.
You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
And in my case, in my particular case, I save over $20,000 a year.
Holy crap!
Wow. Which is, like groceries when my wife goes to the organic stores.
Find everything you need today?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Oh, God. No.
Everything okay, ma'am?
It's just that you've only scanned a few items and it's already $60. I'm so scared.
Okay, I'm a trained professional, ma'am. I've scanned a lot of groceries. I need you to stay with me.
It's just that my in-laws are in town and they want a charcuterie board.
Well, this isn't gonna be easy, so I need you to be brave, all right? What's your name?
Patricia.
Trisha, all right. I need you to take a deep breath. We're about to do the cheese.
That's the difference between eating organic and not organic. So because my wife eats organic, I had to take the 10 minutes needed to compare rates to save the $20,000 a year on credit card fees just for one of my companies.
One question, what's the brand name of the clock?
The brand name of the clock, Rod, do we have it? Brand name of the clock, it's an elegant from Ridgeway. It's from Ridgeway.
Let's
buy the clock.
And sell the fireplace.
So I encourage everybody out there, go to thrivetimeshow.com/credit-card. You schedule a free consultation, request information. A member of our team will call you. They'll schedule a free consultation. It should take you 10 minutes or less. And then they're going to compare rates and see if they can't save you more than $3,000 a year off of your credit card processing.
You were hoping what?
I wouldn't owe you money at the end of the day.
No, you don't owe us money.
Because at the end of the day, the goal of the business is to create time freedom and financial freedom. And in order to do that, you need to create additional profits.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah. So here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months. Or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy, Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company or, navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. As you can see, it's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
If we go back 8 years ago, think about the number of clients you had back then versus the number of clients you have now. As a percentage, what has been the growth over the past 8 years, do you think? We got to inspire somebody out there who just doesn't have the time to listen to their calls.
Okay, so Clay, it's like I would go up and down from about $10,000 a month up to about $40,000, but it's up and down roller coaster, and so now we've got it to where we're in excess of 100 clients.
That's awesome.
And so I would have anywhere from 5 clients to 20 clients on my own with networking, but I had no control over it. I didn't. Without the systems, you're going to be victimized by your own business.
For somebody out there who struggles with math, if you let's say that your average number of clients was 30 and you go to 100, as a percentage, what is that?
I have doubled every year since working with you. So I've doubled in clients, I've doubled in revenue every year. It's 100% growth every year I've worked with. Now, so I'm looking, we've been good friends 7-8 years, and I've got doubled 5 times.
Which is just incredible. I mean, the first time you do it, that's one thing, but when you do it repeatedly,
yeah,
I mean, that's unbelievable.
We're working our Blessed Assurance off this year to double. We're planning on doubling again. We're incorporating some new things in there to really help us do it, but we are going to double again this year. I started coaching, but it would go up and down, Clay. That's when I came to you, as I was going up and down, and I wanted to go up and up instead of up and down. And so that's when it needed a system. So creating a system is you have nailed down specific steps that you're going to take no matter how you feel, no matter the results. You lean into them and you do them regardless of what's happening. You lean into them and it will give you X number of leads. You follow up with those leads, turns into sales. Well, I tell you, it's if you don't have a script and you don't have a system, then every day is a whole new creation. You're creating a lot of energy just to figure out what are you going to do.
Right.
And the best executives, Peter Drucker is a father of modern management. He said the most effective executives make one decision a year. What you do is you make a decision, what is your system, and then you work like the Dickens to make sure you follow that system. And so that's really what it's all about. So with a script here, we have a brand new gal that just came in working for us. She nailed down the script, and she's been nailing down appointments. Usually we try to get one appointment for every 100 calls. We make 200 to 300 calls a day per rep.
Right.
And she's been nailing down 5 and 8 appointments a day.
Somebody out there is having a hard time.
That script.
So she's making how many calls a day?
She's making between 200 and 300 calls a day.
Whoa. And our relationship is weird in that we do. If someone were to buy an Apple computer today,
yeah,
and or let's say you bought a personal computer, a PC, the computer is made by, let's say, Dell, but then the software in the computer would be Microsoft, let's say, or Adobe or whatever that is. So I basically make the systems, and you're like the computer and I'm like the software. It's kind of how I would describe our relationship. Yeah. Tim, I want to ask you this. You and I reconnected. I think it was in the year 2000 and what was it? Maybe 2010. Is that right? 2011 maybe? Or no, maybe further down the road. Maybe 2013.
2012.
Okay, so 2012, and at that time I was 5 years removed from the DJ business, and you were how many years removed from tax and accounting software?
It was about 10, 11 years.
We met. How did we re-meet? What was the first interaction? There was some interaction where you and I first connected. I just remember that somehow you and I went to Hideaway Pizza. But do you remember when we first reconnected?
Yeah. Well, we had that speaking thing that.
There it was. So it was Victory Christian Center. I was speaking there.
My name is Robert Redmond. I actually first met Clay almost 3 years ago to the day. I don't know if he remembers it or not, but I wasn't working with him at the time. I asked to see him and just ask him some questions to help, direct my life, to get some mentorship. but I've been working with Clay for now just over a year. The role I play here is a business coach, business consultant. I work with different businesses, implementing best practice processes and systems that I have learned here by working with Clay. And the experience working here has, to put it real plainly, has been just life-changing. I have not only learned new things and have gained new knowledge, but I have gained a whole new mindset that I believe wherever I end up will serve me well throughout the rest of my life. Since working with Clay, I have learned so much. I mean, I would like to say almost everything about business in terms of the different categories. I haven't learned it all, but I've learned all about marketing. I've learned about advertising. I've learned about branding. I've learned how to create a sales process for organizations in any industry. I've learned how to sell. I've learned how to create repeatable systems and processes and hold people accountable. How to hire people. It's almost like every aspect of a business you can learn. I have learned a lot in those different categories. And then, again, the mindset that I've gained here has been huge. Working here, you can't be a mediocre person. You are a call to a higher standard of excellence. And then as you're called to that standard here, you begin to see those outcomes in every area of your life. That standard of excellence that you want to implement no matter what you're involved in. I would like to describe the other people that work with Clay are people that are going somewhere with their life. Marshall in the group interview talks about how the best fits for this organization are the people that are goal-oriented. So they're on their own trajectory, and we're on our own trajectory. And the best fits are those people where there can be a mutually beneficial relationship, that as we pursue our goals and we help the business pursue those goals, the business helps us pursue our goals as well. And so I'd say people that are driven, people that want to make something of their lives, people that are goal-oriented, they're focused, and they're committed to overcoming any adversity that may come their way. Clay's passion for helping business owners grow their businesses it's unique in that I don't know if there's anyone else that can be as passionate. Whenever a business starts working with Clay, it's almost as like Clay is running that business in the sense that he has something at stake. He's just serving them. They're one of his clients, but it's as if he is actively involved in the business. Whenever they have a win, he's posting it all over his social media. He's shouting it across the room here at Thrive. He's sending people encouraging messages. He can kind of be that life coach and business coach in terms of being that a motivator and that champion for people's businesses. It's again unique because there's no one else I've seen get so excited about and passionate about other people's businesses. The kind of people that wouldn't like working with Clay are people that are satisfied with mediocrity. People that want to get through life by just doing enough, by just getting by. People who are not looking to develop themselves, people who are not coachable, people who think that they know it all and they're unwilling to change. I would say those are the type of people. In short, anyone that's content with mediocrity would not like working with Clay. So if you're meeting Clay for the first time, the advice I'd give you is definitely come ready to take tons of notes. Every time Clay speaks, he it gives you a wealth of knowledge that you don't want to miss. I remember the first time that I met Clay, I literally carried a notebook with me all around. I was looking at this notebook the other day, actually. I carried a notebook with me all around, and I just took tons of notes. I filled the entire notebook in about 3 or 4 months, just from being around Clay, following him, and learning from him. And then I would say, come coachable. Be open to learning something new. Be open to challenging yourself. be open to learning and adjusting parts about you that need to be adjusted.